upper control arms, 2nd gen Tacoma, 05 to 15. Let's get it rocking. Pull the tire. And wheel. Alright, now we're jacked up. It's safe. Threw some lights on here so y'all can see. First thing you want to do is disconnect the ball joint from the stock upper control arm. Pull this pin. Remove this castle nut, but don't take it all the way off. Leave it on there a little bit. We're gonna pull off these splash guards, whatever. All right, pull this little cotter pin. It kind of hooks around and then goes through the castle nut. Just like so. And then grab yourself a 19mm. Now go ahead and thread it up to that hole, because you don't want to mess up the threads. But this is going to drop, the pitman is going to drop off of the ball joint, and you don't want it to fall all the way off, because you don't want the whole wheel assembly and everything to fall down. So I'm going to stick a jack stand under there to kind of support it up. Alright, pull off these, they're like little mud flaps deals. Just leave the little deals in there, and then they'll snap back in there. Guess you could use a flathead screwdriver, but lay that there. Now that's off. On the back of this pitman arm, on the front of it actually, you see right here it's a flat surface. It's round right here. There's a like solid flat surface. Just give that a good couple whacks with a hammer or a little mini sledgehammer. It'll drop that ball joint, it'll loosen it up and drop that ball joint connection. And then you have your castle nut on there, a couple threads to stop it from. We're just gonna be whacking off. There's an ABS line right here. We want to disconnect it from the top of this factory upper control arm. I think it's a 10mm. Comes right out. See that? And then I just have a habit of putting bolts back in their same spot so I don't lose them. We need this loose because we don't want any of this. We don't want this brake line. We don't want to crack any of these because we don't bleed the brakes again. Yeah, we want plenty of slack on this stuff. We don't want to stretch it out too tight, have it get bound up. Alright, so we're gonna give it a little we're gonna whack off in the tool shed. Boom, and it dropped it and it caught it on that castle nut. So that's kind of holding everything kind of in place. And I have a jack stand underneath supporting it up so we can have movement. We can jack it up or pull it down, whatever. So now we have to get that bolt. It's all one bolt, 19 millimeter on both sides. All right, so some people say that passenger side's harder than the driver's side. Really, they're the same. It's just there's different stuff in the engine bay because this bolt has to come out and it's probably 16 inches long. So you need to bend back this sheet metal and pop these connectors off, squeeze them and push them in because that's holding wiring in, and you just kind of have to push this hard AC line out of the way, but it should fit. But when you want to pop these off so that when you grab these things, when you grab this sheet metal with a set of pliers, you're not grabbing the back side of that. Trying to keep it as lit as possible. Trying to keep it lit. Keep it litty. Now that's out of the way, and you can grab this sheet metal and bend it back. Get your finger back there and make sure you're not $19 millimeter here, 19 millimeter on the back side here. Those two, it's all the same bolt. You might want to remove this brake line if you have an impact or something. I'm going to see if I can toxic mail do this by hand. If you grab the nut side and try to loosen it, you'll get it loose. You'll be able to crack it loose without putting a 19 millimeter on the other side. Wow, I was able to do it all from one side. It's because I'm fucking awesome. Alright. So now we're gonna disconnect this castle nut and make this upper control arm move freely. Grab yourself a cup or something and stick all the cotter pins and bolts and this and that, or one of those little magnetic trays are kind of helpful. But now that everything's loose, them shits just move. But your ABS line, all your ABS lines, air lines, all this shit has still got slack on it. You don't want it to pull super tight. But now the object of the game is to get this bolt out right here. So hopefully we bent that back enough. You want to hold this washer back, because if it creeps up here, it'll get binded up in the sheet metal. So kind of hold it back. Give it a little finger fuck action. See if you can't get it. You might be able to stick a Phillips screwdriver in here and whack it from the back side to kind of pop it out. Just make sure there's nothing in the way. Switch to the other side here. I'm using the old twist and fucking push technique. Just fucking get her out. I'm just gonna leave it right there because it's already fed through all the wiring. But now it's removed. Alright, so here's the old one. So here's the new one. Here's the old one. You can see the differences. But one of the big differences, flip it over, see how much this ball joint will go down? Watch this. That's not even all the way down either. So you can see that one is much farther down. It has a much bigger angle on it. You can really get, oh, the shadow's fucking it up, but you know, this is just, you know, shaped metal. This is solid tubing. These are way fucking stronger. You can replace these ball joints with just those 4 12 millimeters right there. These are sweet, and they're actually a little bit cheaper than some of the other ones. They're about $250 a piece, so like $500 for a set compared to like $600, $700, $800, $900, $1,100, whatever the fuck you want to spend. But these are sweet. I like them. We'll see. JBA Off-Road. Alright, bring it over to my super dirty bench. This is the hardware that it comes with. 2 big daddies, 2 little daddies. It even comes with some bushing lubricant. So what you want to do is slather some of this shit on here. Do a little slathering. Nice and slathered up. Big washer on the outside, little washer on the inside. And then flip it, little washer on the inside. So basically the big wash, the thicker washer's on the outside. Let's get this thing going at the right angle here so it'll slide through. Just heard it hit the other side. So this side, to get this middle washer in, it's kind of hard. You can either try to wedge it in there or get a flathead or something, like a big pry bar, and pry it out and stuff this in there. But just enough to get it in there in between the collar on the frame. There we go. Maybe not. Push it in there. Better you center it on there, that better that rod will fly through. There we go. Forced it in there with the trusty crescent wrench deal. Boom. Bolts all the way through. Big boy. Other end. Done deal. Watch them threads. All right, so we're all connected. We need to torque this at 85 pounds and torque your ball joint to 45 pounds. And if you went ahead with the JBA upper control arms, you want to double check their ball joint housing. I think these are at 20 pounds. So always torque your shit down. All right, let's wrap this thing up. Grab your 19 millimeters and your torque wrench. Will it fit on there without... Oh, I love it when a plan goes together. We don't need these little rascals anymore. See how it spins? See how this is spinning? Just hold that with something until it gets a little tighter. That's all she wrote. So they leave some green tape here so you can stick that factory screw back in. Ugh. So the other side was 8 before it splurged. So we're gonna jerk this thing off here. Toxic Mail out. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, all that shit. Don't cost you nothing. So, fix it yourself. Save some coin. Do it right.